Hey up, hope you're all doing okay. We're back in with a fry today. I don't think I've introduced you to these fry yet. They came in, what day were they on? They came in on the 27th of May. So, well, they've not even been here a week. I did do some footage when they arrived and when I put them in, but they were overnight, so they weren't same day. So I didn't want to keep them in the bag any longer than needs be. So I did take a small amount of footage. I will stick that on there now, and that'll just run through what they are and where they came from. Just a really quick one. We've got some more fry going in today. This is a full mix, so there's all sorts in here. There's pretty much every variety. Of the standard varieties anyway, so there's some Kohaku, Showa, Beckos, Asagis, some Tanchos, yeah, a little bit of all sorts. They're 6 to 9 week old. I'm just floating them now, they've just arrived. I'm not going to do much filming with them, all I'm going to do is float them now to acclimatise them, and I'm going to put them straight in. I'm not going to mess about filming because they've been overnighted, so they've been in here overnight. I just want to get them out as soon as they're warmed up a little bit. So here we are 20 minutes later, we've acclimatised them, the temperature's going up, not down, so it didn't take too long, and as you can see they're all now netted. That's where they're going to be for, like I said, hopefully no more than a few weeks, maybe a month, just depends on the growth rate. So just in case I didn't cover where they came from, they're from just Koi in York, and these are 6 week old. 6 to 9, so they've just been winged off brine shrimp and onto the small crumb. It's like a powder rather than a crumb. I'm not keen on this net, and it's not the net's fault. It's as you can see in the bottom there. Hopefully you can see in the bottom, it retains a lot of the uneaten food, which makes it very difficult to get that out. You can see there's a small, and it is only a tiny amount, it was a little bit more yesterday, but there's a small amount of protein build-up just on the surface within the net, and you can see that you know, that's not throughout the tank, that is just within there, so that tells me there's not an awful lot of flow. It's almost its own body of water contained within that. Now I know that sounds a little bit stupid maybe, but there's no reason that I can see, well there is one reason, but we'll go into that. There's no reason I can see that they shouldn't be in this tank and have it to themselves. There's no larger fish in there. I showed you very quickly a second ago. They're all in here now. These are the Kikiru Adam Bayer fry, and as you, some of those are coming on unbelievable. There's a couple in there, they're absolutely massive in comparison to the siblings. It depends what day I put this video out. Yeah, hopefully I'll get some out and I'll take a few pictures just so you can see. There's some really nice scales coming through on some of them. And the patterns are really starting to show now, so I'll just stick a couple of pictures up while I'm waffling for a quick look at those. So just bowled half a dozen. The bigger guy you can see on that edge there, that's who we call tank, and you can see obviously from the same spawning, but you can see the size difference in some of them. So yeah, the growth's really good on some, and the rest are perfectly happy and coming along. Anyway, back onto these. Yeah, so you can see they are only tiny, so the obstacle is the bottom drain. So what I am going to do, I've got some wire mesh, and it's really fine wire mesh, and I'm going to modify that bottom drain cover and hope that the fry will get through. It's all a little bit trial and error. I don't like them in this net when I think it'll be a better environment with a lot more space. The other slight obstacle, I don't know if you can just see, you can't quite, but the return drops from the shower and drops into the tank. What I'm going to do, I'm going to extend the return pipe so it's a few inches underwater. Excuse me. I'm going to extend the return pipe so it's a few inches underwater, and then I can control the return and put a decent flow into there rather than crashing into the surface of the water. I don't want to risk giving any of these guys a headache. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. I did just modify a small pipe. So we've got this. Basically it's just a boot with some pipe and a 90. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop that onto the return, and then obviously I can then angle where I want to point the jet. That'll give them a nice current to swim against, rather than something where they're going to get battered if they swim underneath it. So that's what we're going to do, very briefly. I'm just waiting for the mesh to turn up. Once that's arrived, we'll get down to modifying the bottom drain grate, and I can do all this while they're still confined in here, and then I'm going to work out a way to get them out and get them into the tank so they've got a lot more space. So very quickly, this is a wire mesh that I've got. You can see it's ridiculously fine. It's a food grade thing. Yeah, nothing's getting through that. So I've got the bottom grate out, and basically I'm just going to cut that to size and make sure I've got no sharp edges. Cover this. My idea with that is at least daily I'll be able to get the hoover on, because obviously it's going to block waste, but I can just get the hoover on that and whip over it every day if need be. So yeah, just with a pair of scissors by all accounts. So I'm not going to film the process, but that's what I'm going to be doing. So there we go, that's what we're left with. It actually folds and conforms quite well. That's the underside. So I'm going to drop that back over the cover, drop that over the drain. I'm going to fit the return and see what we can do about releasing these little guys. Right, so that's the grill there. So that's covered that successfully, and that's sorted the return. I'll see if I can angle that so you can see. So it's a lot less violent there now. There's a bit of a current for them to swim against. Obviously the air's still on, because it did create quite a lot of air, that return. So now all I'm going to do is release this back. That one I've just knocked off. I'm going to release that, tip the net in, and hopefully get all these small fry out. Right, so that's like that. Hopefully, oh no, that's going to raise up. Hopefully they can just find their way out now. Might be a bit of a process. Let's see if we can some of them. Yeah, I don't want to release the whole net. It is weighted at the bottom, but I don't want to risk too many creases and trapping a load. Yeah, so it might take a little while, but I'm not going anywhere. I'll leave it just to do this. You can see the amount of scum that's released on top of the water, so there was obviously a build-up within the net. Like I say, it was restricting flow too much for me. I'm sure these guys will be a lot happier. Time will tell. If I find a load in the filter tomorrow, then I've cocked it up, but hopefully that won't be the case. Right, so I'm going to get the rest of these guys out, and I'll get back to you. Right, so that's all those little fry in there now. I don't think you're going to be able to see it because the reflections are awful in here for recording. That went quite well. I've just been observing, there's none trying to get down the drain, so that's a result. We will see, time will tell. But I mean, you can see the amount of crap that's in the water now, and obviously all that was sitting in the net. My main concern was the build up of waste. I mean, I stopped feeding when it started building up and thought they'll just get through it when they get through it, but yeah, it was left. So that just about wraps that up. They're all looking good in there, so we'll keep an eye on them and see how they get on. Thanks to everyone that's liked and subscribed, really appreciate it. If you haven't done so, please consider putting a like on, it really helps out. Thanks very much, we'll see you all in next week's video. Cheers.